Look, and this is also very important, again about the drugs. The psychology of the soldiers is now so bad that in June the official figures are 6,000 soldiers psychologically. Centers for help, and they break into the NASET meeting here and throw their own medicines. In other words, enough is enough. We don't want to continue anymore. End it.
So motivation is not very effective because when they see my safe, they come to their senses. Then look, they go here with these drugs. That's the biggest proof. I mean, they use these tranquilizers, encouraging drugs, psychotropic drugs, and say enough is enough. You know, in the movies, you take them and they hypnotize a society like this. Unfortunately, this is the current position of these scoundrels. Look, with this motivation and under these conditions,
bag after bag of drugs,
it is not possible for an army or an armed force to succeed. I mean, unless you have faith and belief in yourself, unless you have faith and belief in your cause, it is not possible for you to be successful with money, with medicines, and so on. Because when death comes and catches you somewhere, you cannot overcome this fear of death with drugs or anything else.
But isn't their cause Zionism?
But look, they believe in this cause with this medicine. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now it's very easy outside. Just now, you know, something was published yesterday. One of them is showing Turkey in an ironed uniform and boots that haven't been touched by dust. So let the artist do it, not you. So now, in this sense, you know how much they don't believe in the so-called case with these perceptions and drugs are actually these photographs. There's more. So more than 300 insurgents have committed suicide. I thought it was 3,000. It's gone up to 6,000.
We can't know because of the censorship law.
Yes, of course.
The truth will come out years later.
Look, do you know how 6,000 people are? I mean, not like this. I had a report on that too. I read it. I mean, these 6,000 people, I don't know, I was traumatized, psychologically traumatized during the conflict. Treat me and let me rest for a while or something like that. They are crazy. I mean, they went crazy, they went insane to the point of not being able to lead a normal life. Most of them are tied to beds and tranquilized with drug injections. Now look, let me tell you the latest figures. The loss of the Israeli army in 23 months is over 30,000. Now, as my professor said, it is censored. Do you know how it is censored? Now, they say to the family of the dead Israeli soldier that this is the truth. I am telling you what is happening now. They say to the family of the dead Israeli soldier that if they say, or your daughter, you know, they were women. If the family of the dead Israeli soldier is buried in a civilian death and not in uniform, that is a civilian death and not a military ceremony, if he buries him in the form of a grave, he gets paid. I swear to God, this is the law right now. Why is that? Why is that? In order to hide these deaths, in other words, in order to hide the deaths of the Israeli soldier, the Israeli army.
Let's not go into the numbers.
But what's worse is that if they say no, 95% of them very clearly, well, they accept it. Because if they don't accept, they bury them with military honors, but they also bury that family. They ruin it. There are a lot of sanctions, okay? You probably expressed it the other day, dear Nedim. I mean, the most important thing is not you. I apologize. Another friend, for example, how do we know that the Israeli army suffered more than 30,000 casualties? There are 3 sources. I am telling you so that our valuable viewers can follow them from here. 1, satellite photos are taken by media organizations. Satellite photos show how much the graveyards increase daily. They calculate how many square meters it has increased and divide it by the size of a grave. And that's approximately how many Israeli soldiers died per day. Secondly, some sources in particular went and secretly accessed the records of Israeli hospitals. They published them and I read them. The third one is very interesting. Now, in the Jewish faith, marble is used for a deceased person. So the turnover of marble companies has increased several hundred times. Look at Israel, they have to use marble for tombstones in their faith. So they looked at those turnovers. According to the turnover of the companies supplying marble to Israel and their monthly turnover, approximately how much marble is shipped to Israel. Since the approximate measure used for the grave is known, when they divide it by 10, they get an idea of how many soldiers die per month. But we don't say these things for nothing. We don't say these. How long can they hide it? How long can they hide this madness, this insanity, this madness? I mean, they can't hide it. Even the chief of general staff said, let's not do this, let's not do that. But he had to manage a conflict in which he would lose his man. He fought a lot at the beginning because he knew he would be the last one to get the ticket. This one, Gaza, as a result, it is a dead end for the Israeli army, a quagmire. I wonder what images the Qassam brigades will send tomorrow morning. You know, during the day, I looked at the media and Israel started a permanent occupation and so on. I even tweeted like this. I said, there is also night. Is it? Let me see. Because why? Because of now, you can have night vision as much as you want. So let's say you have night vision binoculars. If there is a pillar in front of you, I cannot see behind the night vision. So only night vision can see the distance between you and the pillar. You see all the buildings have collapsed. Of course.
There is no straight line.
Now look, if they were normal residential neighborhoods, if they were not demolished, they are actually in a more combatable position for the Israeli army. But the Israeli army is actually shooting itself in the foot. Because there are so many positions that when each building collapses, it turns into dozens of positions and from very close distances, especially at the beginning of the evening darkness. From Kaslam, of course, daytime asymmetric force, they withdrew during the day. They entered various places during the day. They did not dissolve their own power against conventional power. They probably left during the night. There are clashes right now, and they can infiltrate at close distances, which is between 1 and 3 meters. They deliver short and deadly blows to the Israeli soldiers and then disappear again. Now we will see in the morning how this occupation is a permanent occupation.
Hodja had a contribution before he came there.